Half the clothes in your closet might be working against you without you realizing it, not because they're wrong for your age, but because they're not doing the one job a piece of clothing is supposed to do. French style has quietly solved this for decades, and it comes down to 7 pieces, each with one specific job to do. We're counting down to the piece that pulls the whole wardrobe together. 7. The white button-down shirt. Not a blouse with ruffles or a soft draped top, a real, crisp, structured white shirt, the kind with a proper collar and a clean line down the front. This piece adds structure to anything it's paired with, instantly. Picture it under a soft cashmere sweater with just the collar and cuffs showing, or worn open over a simple tank, sleeves pushed up with trousers, or on its own, tucked into a high-waisted skirt. 3 completely different outfits, and the shirt is doing the same quiet job in each one. The mistake that makes this piece look dated is fit. A shirt that's boxy through the body or has shoulders sitting too wide reads as borrowed, not chosen. Look for one tailored close through the waist, with sleeves that end at the wrist bone, not past it. That single seam placement is often the difference between a shirt that looks elegant and one that looks like it belongs to someone else. Fabric matters as much as fit. A slightly heavier cotton with a bit of structure to it holds its shape through the day in a way a thin, flimsy version never will. That structure becomes the quiet foundation for everything else on this list. 6 takes it somewhere unexpected, a piece built entirely around ease that most women already own and rarely wear with any real confidence. 6. Wide-legged tailored trousers. A wide flowing leg paired with a defined waist create a clean vertical line, and clean vertical lines are one of the fastest ways to make an outfit look put together no matter what's happening on top. The difference between these trousers looking elegant and looking sloppy comes down almost entirely to 2 details: the waist and the length. High-waisted, with the fabric falling straight from a defined point at your natural waist, and a hem that just grazes the top of your shoe, not one that pulls on the floor or stops short at the ankle. Picture the same pair of trousers in 2 lengths. Too long, and the whole silhouette looks unfinished, like something borrowed from someone taller. Cropped exactly at the ankle bone with a heel or a flat shoe, and the same trousers suddenly look tailored and current. Wear them with that white shirt, tucked in, sleeves rolled, or with a fine merino sweater and a blazer over the top. The fitting room test is simple. Stand sideways and check where the fabric breaks. If it breaks right at the top of your foot, the length is right. Any lower, and a simple hem adjustment is often the cheapest change that makes the biggest visual difference in this entire list. 2 inches of fabric can be the whole gap between an outfit that looks dated and one that looks current. If you like styling advice that explains not just what to wear, but why it actually works for a woman over 60, that's exactly what we do here at the Timeless Wardrobe. Subscribing means you won't miss the next one. Trousers this relaxed only look elegant next to something crisp, which raises a real question. What happens when there's no shirt underneath doing that job, when a single piece has to create all of that structure on its own? 5. The trench coat. This is possibly the single most recognizable piece of French associated style, and there's a real reason it endured for decades rather than cycling in and out with trends. The silhouette itself does the flattering work, not the details. A trench's belted waist creates definition exactly where an outfit benefits from it, while the straight shoulders and clean lapel add just enough structure to make even the simplest outfit underneath look considered. Worn open over jeans and a sweater, it can create the impression of a longer, leaner line without changing anything about what's underneath it. Where this piece tends to go wrong is fit through the shoulder and length. A trench that's oversized through the shoulder can visually add bulk exactly where it isn't needed, and a length that stops mid-calf on a shorter frame can shorten the leg line. The fix is often as simple as choosing a knee length or just below the knee cut instead of the traditional longer one. Color is worth considering too. Classic camel or khaki tends to photograph beautifully against most complexions, but a soft charcoal or navy trench does the identical structural job with a slightly more modern edge if khaki has never felt like your color. Try this before buying. Belt the trench at the waist rather than leaving it loosely tied, and look at your silhouette from the side. The bented waist should be visible even with the coat closed. That's the detail doing the actual flattering. A trench earns its elegance through shape. 4 has almost no shape to speak of. It earns its place through something most women file under decoration when it's actually one of the most efficient tools on this entire list.
4. The striped Breton top. This one isn't about the stripes themselves, it's about what horizontal repetition does to the eye. A classic navy and white striped top, fitted but not tight, creates a rhythm across the body that reads as effortless, largely because it's simple enough to pair with almost anything. The detail that separates an elegant Breton top from a dated one is scale and fit. Thin, evenly spaced stripes in a fitted crew or boat neck look considerably more polished than a wide-striped boxy version. The narrower stripe reads as refined, while a wider stripe can visually add bulk it isn't intended to add. Picture it under a blazer, with the collar of the blazer framing the boat neck beneath it, or with the wide-legged trousers from earlier and a simple flat shoe, or under that trench coat, left open, stripes just visible at the neckline. A boat neck in particular can visually widen the shoulder line slightly, which for many women balances a fuller hip nicely. If you'd prefer to soften that effect, a fitted crew neck does the identical job with a slightly less structured shoulder line. A striped top rarely needs anything loud nearby to hold its own, and that same quality shows up again in the next piece, just built for a completely different job. 3. A well-cut blazer worn unexpectedly. Not a boxy boardroom blazer, a softly structured one, single-breasted, that skims the body rather than boxing it in. This piece earns its place through range. The same blazer that looks polished over trousers for lunch also looks completely different, in the best way, thrown over a simple dress or a pair of well-fitted jeans. A blazer over something relaxed, a plain t-shirt, straight-leg jeans, instantly reads as elevated because the structure of the blazer is doing work the rest of the outfit isn't attempting on its own. Where this goes wrong is proportion through the shoulder and sleeve. A blazer with shoulders that extend past your natural shoulder line adds width in the wrong place. A sleeve that runs too long can shorten the appearance of the hand. If you already own one that fits slightly wrong, a simple tailoring adjustment at the shoulder seam is often all it takes. A soft, slightly textured wool or a fine cotton blend holds its shape and drapes more elegantly than a stiff, shiny synthetic. Camel, navy, and soft charcoal pair most easily with everything else on this list. Here's the test worth trying. Put the blazer on over your most casual outfit, the one you'd normally never dress up. If it alone makes you want to add earrings and leave the house, that's the fit and proportion working correctly together. Everything so far on this list has size on its side: a coat, a pair of trousers, a blazer.
2 is the smallest thing we'll cover, and it proves size was never really the point. 2. The silk scarf worn as a single deliberate accent, not tied elaborately around the neck, but used the way it's most often seen in French street style, knotted simply at the throat, tied around a handbag handle, or looped once loosely over a plain sweater. Picture the same plain crewneck sweater worn 2 ways. Alone, it's simple, maybe a little unfinished, with one silk scarf knotted at the throat in a color that picks up something else in the outfit. It suddenly looks like a decision rather than an afterthought. Choose one in a color that connects to the rest of your wardrobe, a deep burgundy against camel and navy, or a soft gold against cream and white. A simple print or a solid color does more elegant work than an elaborate busy one, because a busy scarf competes with the outfit instead of finishing it. Try the sweater alone in the mirror first, then add the scarf and look again. If your eye goes straight to your face instead of wandering across the outfit, the color and placement are right. The mistake most women make with a silk scarf is treating it as an afterthought. 3 or 4 scarves in unrelated tones, none of them quite matching anything else they own. 1 or 2 chosen in colors that echo your existing wardrobe do more work than a whole drawer of mismatched ones. A scarf is proof that scale has almost nothing to do with impact. Number 1 takes that exact principle and applies it to an entire outfit at once.
1. The simple, well-fitted little black dress, or its neutral equivalent. This piece earns the top position for a simple reason. It's the only item on this list that does in one garment what the other 7 do individually. The shirt taught fit, the trousers taught length, the trench taught shape, the scarf taught restraint. This dress carries all of it at once, which is exactly why getting dressed with it in your closet stops being a daily decision. A simple dress in a clean silhouette, in black or in a soft neutral, removes the need for decision-making entirely. No matching required, no combination to consider. Just the dress, and whatever single accessory or layer you choose to add on top of it. This is also where every earlier piece on this list gets to return. That trench coat worn open over the dress for daytime, that blazer thrown over the shoulders for evening, that silk scarf knotted once at the neckline instead of jewelry. The dress becomes the quiet foundation the rest of the wardrobe is built to support. The single most important detail is fit, specifically the waistline. A dress that skims rather than clings, with a defined waistline and a hem that falls at or just below the knee, looks considerably more polished than one that's either too fitted or too loose throughout. Even the simplest black dress looks intentional the moment there's a visible waist, whether that comes from the cut itself or a simple thin belt added on top. Fabric matters just as much. A slightly structured jersey or a fine wool crepe holds its shape and drapes elegantly, while a thin, clingy fabric undermines the entire effect. The biggest mistake with this piece isn't the dress, it's what happens after. A necklace, then earrings, then a patterned scarf, then a printed bag, until the dress that was doing all the work disappears under everything piled on top of it. So try this the next time you wear it. Choose exactly one addition and stop there. Look in the mirror after adding it and ask honestly whether a second piece would improve the outfit or simply compete with the first. 9 times out of 10, it was already finished. French-inspired elegance was never about owning more. It's about making fewer, more deliberate choices and trusting each piece enough to let it do its job without 6 others crowding in to help. The goal was never to look younger, it's to look current, confident, and completely yourself.
Which of these 7 pieces already lives in your wardrobe? Tell me below. I read every answer, and it shapes what we cover next. And if this changed how you'll think about getting dressed tomorrow, subscribe to the Timeless Wardrobe. We do this every week. I'll see you in the next one.